Okay, so while I do my makeup for this interview, why don't we go through a little highlight reel of my year at the same time. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a little rose and thorn situation, okay? So let's start with January of 2024. We're hopeful. We were just excited to be here, you know? We thought it was gonna be our banner year. We just had hope, okay? The downside to January, I can't really say if there was one. Like, I don't even remember January like that. Then we moved into February. In February, I went to Jamaica. I went on like my little solo trip, retreat with Vital Frequency, with 10 out of 10 recommend. It was a great trip, very enlightening. Definitely set the tone for a lot of what is to come the rest of my year. Without me really even realizing it. It was one of the things that checked multiple boxes, whether that's like eating healthier, whether that was drinking less, whether it was traveling more. That one trip encompassed all of those things. So then March comes around, and March kind of flipped the script a little bit. Like, I got my feelings hurt in March. I moved in March, moved out on my own, left my parents' house for the second time. In March, I think I was looking for my apartment in March, and then in April is when I actually did the moving. April was cool. I remember I was still like miserable at work, still having a really hard time dealing with my team and stuff. And then April came and went. May rolls around and I had the birthday trip. So much fun, did a wonderful photo shoot. Had a great time, like didn't do too much, was very like slow travel. Met a lot of great people. Yeah, just good vibes on my trip to Colombia. So May was cool. I'm pretty sure I got back to work though and like got my PIP. Like, that was pretty immediate. So there's that. So then June rolls around, and that's where things kind of hit the fan, you know? Like, June is when things got a little bit real for me. Because June 25th is when I got called in to work and was let go from the company. Good times, good vibes. So honestly, like, getting fired definitely put me in a spiral. But for how long I had hated that company and hated my job and hated my life as it related to that job. Like the misery that it sent me home with, and I'm saying sent me home in quotes because I was working remotely. So I was miserable in my own home because of this job. So it was time. July was kind of me reckoning with the fact that I had lost my job and like getting myself together emotionally. I took some time to myself, kind of fell off the map a little bit. Like, wasn't talking to many people. I was leaning on my support system at that time. Cause a lot of people I didn't tell immediately. I told as it came up. Like, a part of me felt a bit of shame. I felt embarrassed. I felt like sad. I felt scared. Like, I just moved in March. And I just kept hearing from so many people how hard the job market is. And now that I'm in it, like, it is. And I took their word for it before I even got into it. But now, like, I think that I'm a lot more intentional about where I put my energy, just because so much of my time and like energy has been focused on finding a job and like networking and building relationships around finding a job and finding employment. And it's really hard out here for folks. Like, it really is. I don't take that lightly at all. You know, it's not an easy time for anyone. So yeah, I went through it for a bit. August, I guess, is when I started to like seek out unemployment and like seek out the resources that be. I have been ducking it for a bit because I wanted to just give my full time and attention to finding new employment instead of using the government. And not that I have anything against government services. I'm sure that they work for some people, but for me, they're asking for way too much. For me, it takes me way more time to fill out one of their little forms than it does for me to just go ahead and apply to 20 more jobs. Like, why would I waste my time if I'm trying to get some money? I'm confused. And they don't need to be that much money, so part of it. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, it was a hard time. A lot of these months were like just super like depressive. Like, I was just really going through it, like really, really bad. Had many breakdowns, like a lot of breakdowns, stressed. And then in August, that is when I started 75 Hard, okay? So 75 Hard, you know, mental toughness program. And in this time when I'm going through it, like at my freaking worst, like mental toughness is really all that I can have. You know what I mean? Because like financial security, don't have it. Like mental stability, don't have it. So we had to build that, you know? And 75 Hard gave me something to ground me. It gave me something to get up in the morning. It gave me something to look forward to doing, even if it wasn't in like a good way. Like even if it wasn't like a, wow, what do you do? I'm gonna go work out twice. It was like a, this gives you a purpose for the time being, you know, where you don't feel like you have one. 75 Hard is what gave me the focus and the determination to, one, just feel like I completed something, just feel accomplished in something. But it also gave me the time and focus to put my energy towards my own business. Like, I opened up my LLC, what was that, in March maybe, for Learn to Lead, and hadn't really done anything with it since opening it, just because it's like hard to find clients and stuff. Like, I was just kind of like making excuses for why I couldn't get the ball rolling on my business, out of fear of like being underqualified, of my voice not being enough in the spaces I wanted to be in, things of that nature. But 75 Hard taught me that I can do something. I can do a little something, you know? So I locked in, started working on my business, finally started to come up with some good ideas, getting a little creative. And now I'm finally launching my Instagram page for Learn to Lead. I'm now marketing Learn to Lead to people and introducing my services slowly but surely. But it's a work in progress for me, just because it took a lot of confidence to even start doing the things that I'm doing now. This time has just been so much networking, like an insane amount of networking. September was straight 75 Hard. October was half 75 Hard. So then October was like getting back to normalcy. October was a bit of backsliding. Like, obviously the reason that I wanted to do 75 Hard was to like get fit. It was to get active. It was to get focused. It was to learn some things about myself, about people, about like society. Like, you don't realize how much of a drinking culture we exist in until you're the one that's not drinking and you get asked, oh, like, why you not drinking? What's in your cup? Every other second. And it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, October, yeah, I had a lot of backsliding. Like, after 75 Hard, I haven't done my worst. Like, I was definitely worse off before 75 Hard, but it wasn't meant to be a lifestyle, you know? It was a program that was meant to be completed because it was hard. So I'm glad that I didn't put those expectations on myself. It did teach me that the lifestyle that 75 Hard brings you is a lifestyle that I ultimately want to live. Like, I want that to feel natural to me. It's a really hard thing to do, but I do want it to feel natural. I do want to go to the gym every day. I do want to not crave like unhealthy food or random sweets. That is my ultimate goal. Certainly no regrets there. But I feel like I'm out of breath from all of this, yeah. Anyways, K-Mas, what else happened this year? Oh, October, I also got a boyfriend. That's my mom. Made my relationship official. Some would say that I've been in a relationship for like over a year now, but that's nobody else's business. I've been in a relationship for 2 months. Anyways, November was a lot of focus, a lot of locking into this business, a lot of networking, a lot of getting my ducks in a row, a lot of prepping for what I want to do in the new year. Because we gotta start that early. We got to. And through all of this, from June all the way to now, like, I've been deep in therapy, like, very much trying to heal, trying to understand, trying to better my communication. Like, this year has been focused on so much growth, whether it was forced, whether it wasn't, whether it was comfortable, whether it wasn't. Like, we've just been through it regardless, okay? So, big ups to me. December has been hard because with all of like the looking for a job, with all of the networking I've been doing, like all of this, like it feels like there could be a light at the end of the tunnel. But because I can't, like, because of all of the rejections that I've been through, like all of that makes it really hard to stand 10 toes behind that statement. So I don't want to for that reason. But yeah, I'm really excited to get on this content journey. Like, I'm really excited to start posting a lot more and a lot more consistently, and like bringing a little bit more direction to how I use social media, how I interact with it, how I engage with it, who I engage with on social media. Like, all of those things are, it will be uncomfortable for me. Like, I'm going to be awkward on camera. Like, I do feel embarrassed doing this, but it is something that I set the intention for at the beginning of 2024. It's something that I have to end the year off with, living through, just because that's what I set out to do this year. And something had to be accomplished. We wasn't coming out of this year with nothing, I guess. Yeah, like, we're in our content creation era, and I'm excited for it. I'm nervous, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. I think that this year has taught me like how badly I want to live in my truth, how badly I want my values to align with the work that I do, how badly I want to be an unapologetic advocate for the things that I believe in, for the change that I wish to see in the world, for the way that I see that coming to fruition. Like, I want to go into next year being very unapologetic about who I am. I've worked so hard to figure it out. So to actively choose other would be doing myself a disservice, and those around me as well. Yeah, like, if it wasn't already the year of intention, 2025 about to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited for it. So, to wrap this all up, thank you for coming to my pre-interview face week. With a very simple, very natural look. Just to make it look like I'm not super sleepy. Didn't use any foundation, didn't want to cover too much up. I have a few like bumps and things in my face right now, a little texture. So I didn't want to put too much on top of those, just because it kind of makes it worse for me, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Kiss ass.